Biggest one-day drop in Bitcoin could officially be happening tomorrow on June 26, 2025. Now, I could be off by a couple of days, so don't hold a grudge if it happens on the 27th or 28th or 29th. For God's sake, it is happening. The ball is in motion. And guys, I'll keep it simple. The biggest one-day point drop in Bitcoin history would be an equivalent of anything above 15,000 points in a single trading session. So I'm shooting for a 17,000 point collapse in Bitcoin. And, it's pretty simple. You put the two and two together. So you got some bad economic data coming out today, and the market is brushing it off. Don't miss the next video breaking down specific stocks that are about to drop like a rock if you're trying to make money as a short seller. But for the purpose of this quick podcast, I just want to bring to your attention a very interesting move, which basically confirms that the economy is completely falling the fuck apart, which is not good news for crypto, contrary to the popular groupie fucking belief. So, let me break this down exactly what I think is going to be remembered in history over the course of the next few days as the biggest one-day drop in Bitcoin history. So let me break this down. We have a situation where the housing data, well, as many people were looking for housing data to improve, what happens? Well, it comes in shy. Not just shy a little bit. It comes in like gap fucking shy, like big discrepancy in the housing data today. And people are still trying to talk this up and say, hey, no, this is the last time we're going to have bad sales number in housing. This is the last time we're going to have bad sales number in auto sales. Well, this is, it's all good, man, because guess what? Fed is going to cut the rates. I don't know how the fuck people came up with an idea of a rate cut in July. Because to me, when you actually go and listen to what Powell has said, he clearly said, look, y'all, I don't fucking have a clue what's going to happen next. And until I have a clue, I ain't cutting the fucking rates. So how the fuck people thought that July rate cut is in play? Because he clearly said, I'm going to need to see the June and July jobs data, which officially, if you follow the regular reporting, that data is not going to be reported until August. So how the fuck can you get a July rate cut? People are out of their fucking mind right now, I'm telling you. But this is what makes it highly suspicious, okay? The fact that market is making another mistake here at all-time highs, it's a given. I mean, housing falling off the cliff. I mean, in certain areas, their argument used to be this. Well, the housing prices are so high because we don't have enough supply. Well, supply just went up in certain markets by as much as 5-6x. Literally, there's certain areas that had just 1,000 homes for sale available. If we track the data over the course of last few years, now they have 4,000 or 5,000 homes for sale. And the argument used to be, well, it's because the market is so tight. There's just not enough homes for sale. That's why we're not selling enough homes. So now the market is flooded. And I was shocked when I was listening to some data today, because the data literally pointed to the fact that officially the housing market is flooded to the magnitude. The supply is at the magnitude of 2009 levels. Hold on. Let's break this shit apart for a moment here. 2009 supply in the housing market evolved as aftermath of the market collapse in 2008. So what are you saying by telling us that the housing market is at 2009 levels as if we skipped the fucking market crash? And why didn't the market crash? I'm telling you, because of all the fall of all the fake data out there. See, if the data was real, like Back in the days, they at least had the fucking decency to report somewhat legit numbers. Now, every number is manipulated to the point where it is absolutely, obviously revised later down the line. But by the time the numbers get revised downward, nobody gives a fuck as far as Wall Street concerned later down the line. They just keep buying this shit. So somebody asked me a question, how is the GDP number going to look tomorrow? Well, GDP number probably going to look good because they cooked the shit again. But you shouldn't be asking yourself, what is the number that's going to be reported tomorrow going to look like? You should be asking yourself, like, what is the real fucking number? And the real number on employment is through the fucking roof. The real number on GDP, it's fucking collapsing because nobody is making the fucking money, okay? Look at the FedEx report yesterday. They're saying the economy is shit. They're saying forward-looking guidance is shit. Their main effort is not to increase sales. Their main effort to cut the costs. When do you cut the costs? Not when the economy is booming. You cut the fucking costs when shit gets bad. You lay people off, okay? You cut down everything. You try to cut the costs not when things are good. Basically, it's simple mathematics. So my point is, today, they're coming out. Well, it's been circulating over the last couple of days, but today they're sort of making it official, right? Well, okay, well, the housing sales are, nobody's buying a fucking home. They can't fucking afford it. The interest rates, whatever. No, it's because people don't have the confidence to go buy a home right now, okay? Because, the inflation is a main reason why people can't afford a fucking home. The homes are at all-time highs. They should have never gotten here in the first place. But the number of people that can afford to buy a home is decreasing drastically because people are losing fucking jobs. They're not reporting it in the official employment data. If a person don't have a fucking job, how are they going to go buy a house? How are they going to go buy a fucking car? Like, it's simple. 2 + 2. So the job numbers are falling off the cliff, but employment is so fucking great. Oh my God, employment numbers, the economy is so fucking strong. Employment numbers are good. Yeah, they're good because they're fucking fake as fuck. That's why they look good. And I used to blame the Biden administration to, all the fake numbers they were reporting, but this reporting got even more outrageous. Recently. So they're going to report a semi-decent number on GDP tomorrow. They're going to brainwash you that the economy is good, it's steady, everything looks big, fucking beautiful. And my response to you is going to be that this is the most big, beautiful fucking short the world has ever seen. Because the data has not been so goddamn manipulated for years. We're talking about, like, now the span of not just one report, not 2 reports, not 1 year of reports, not 2 year reports. We're talking about the span of 5 years of absolute horrendous fucking reporting about the economy. And there comes a moment where none of them fucking reports matter. Because people understand it's all bullshit, okay? People understand that the real economy is falling the fuck apart. And sure, Wall Street can prop a couple of beautiful AI stocks out there, but guess what? There'd be nothing but a big, beautiful ass short as of late, talking about CRCL. Shorted it $1 shy of 300. The shit today is at 190s. Guys, we're talking about serious business here. Options on that paid 15x if you pulled the trigger with 30 market moves just a day ago. And the most meaningful discovery for today is the fact that most of the stocks have been running higher, guys. They're talking about, oh my God, well, buy the big tech. Well, why aren't they buying the big tech at the motherfucking market top, double top? Okay, officially today, the market was within 6 points of all-time highs, but it couldn't just quite get there. And at the same moment, okay, you have two things that are happening today. So allow me to connect the dots here. Housing sales are falling, so they're saying now we're going to push a new bill that's going to allow people to use their cryptocurrencies when qualifying for the mortgages. So you don't do that because mortgage environment is great. You do that because you're goddamn desperate. The desperation in the market is at all-time highs. Is not a good sign. That is not a bullish sign. Okay, people are considering like, oh, well, now you're going to be able to go use your crypto. Yeah, I mean, the chances are, okay, they're not going to let you convert your cryptos down payment. They're going to probably let you do something like, well, hey, you want to buy a house when nobody else can buy one because you got some crypto sitting aside. Like, overall, it's a trap. People are going to say, okay, yeah, I got like 100K in crypto. They're going to say, well, look, crypto is fluctuating a lot. So what we'll do if you want to buy this house, you got 100K, you say, okay, we'll give you 50% on the value of your crypto that you could use towards your down payment. But if you default, we're going to fucking take all your crypto from you. Right? It's going to allow them temporarily to possibly inflate the number of housing sales at the very, very fucking market top. Okay, but it's also going to fuck a lot of people that, you know, legitimately been making money in the crypto space. They're going to be stupid enough to go buy a fucking house with it. But the point is this. You do not make some drastic measures to allow people to participate in the housing market through crypto. They're going to call it, oh my God, United States is the pioneer in this shit. We're all about technological advance. No, you're all about lying to people about the state of the current economy, and you're so goddamn desperate that you're about to steal people's crypto. That's the real shit. This is no technological fucking breakthrough when the NAR Homes is considering to let people use crypto as collateral for possible down payment of some kind on their home at a fractional value of what the crypto worth in the market right now at this very moment. That is not a good sign for crypto. Because guess what? Let's say that creates a real issue down the line. Let's say you are one of the idiots that are going to go and let them use your crypto as a collateral just so you can buy a house at these stupidly elevated goddamn prices the world has ever seen in its history, and you're stupid enough to fucking do that, okay? Then, and like literally, you're going to do that as the supply of homes is at a 2009 fucking level. So like this is like their latest move to save the housing market, because guess what? If they don't, okay, then you move into 2010, 2011. And for any one of you has been around, that is the area where like the number of foreclosures, because it's a legal process for a home to be placed under foreclosure, for the bank to take the property, for the bank to list the property. Listen, when the real estate market does not change, for whatever reason, people think it's the safest fucking investment in the world. They're fucking wrong. Okay, Grant Cardone is about to file for a motherfucking bankruptcy. He just don't know it yet. Okay, he's got millions of real estate properties, and he thinks he's the fucking smartest fucking tool in the box. But goddamn, you wait till these property values collapse, then you got nothing but motherfucking liabilities. You know, the other day I was watching through some stuff, and like randomly an ad popped up of a guy that was bragging about like he owns $50 million in properties, and he's never spent a dime to acquire them, which means he owes $50 million in fucking mortgages, okay? And he's just renting the shit out, leasing it out, and right now, as of this moment, he's cash flow positive. Now, there's no particular details how much he's cash flow positive in these properties, but the very simple fact, if real estate prices dive, 20-30%, which they will absolutely will, because 20-30% is just a super conservative estimate. Okay, what's going to happen to this guy? Well, he's going to give a lot of his properties back to the banks. The banks are going to list them for sale, and before you know, his positive cash flow is going to be super fucking ugly negative. For some reason, people just don't think about the fact that real estate markets, they always go for a cycle. They pump, they dump, they pump, then dump. It's no different than a fucking meme coin. It just takes a little bit longer to play out. So, to me, the announcement that crypto could be used as some form to ameliorate the mortgages transactions is definitely a desperate sign to somehow improve the absolutely collapsing housing market. But you know what? That's not even going to save the housing market. That's going to fuck a few people that don't have a brain, and they're actually going to go for it. But the point is this. We're talking about a volcano erupting. We're talking about ice age fucking melting down all these housing markets. We're talking about a force that is unstoppable, okay? And when you look at these numbers, then it makes all the other numbers so invalid, okay? That makes all the other, all the misreporting, all the misrepresentation of the inflation data, of the employment data, all the stuff that Federal Reserve is supposed to keep track of, that makes all of them numbers that supposedly are real, that makes all of these numbers so invalid, because the reality finally hits the market. When the supply of homes in certain areas goes up 5-6x, okay, you know the economy has already dropped off the cliff. But what have we missed this time? Oh, well, we missed the biggest fucking crash of all times, which means it is going to derive as a letter of fact. It's going to arrive, instead of the predecessor to the market crash, it's going to arrive after. It's going to become apparent to the market participants how fucked up the data that's been reported truly is. All of these revisions, all of this stuff is going to be added up, and it's not going to add up nowhere to what the current reports are going to fucking show. The real GDP number is fucking negative. It's probably, United States economy is currently growing at -2-3%, but what they're probably going to report tomorrow is like, well, it's growing at like 2-3% positive. So we're talking about earth in the sky here. I mean, this shit is ugly, guys. And the second piece of evidence I want to bring to your examination this fine day of, June 25th, 2025 is something crazy, right? So the economy is facing all these crazy things that are highly negative. Yet, the market doesn't blink. Why? Because today, they have allowed the banks to lower their capital requirements. Yes, and it's a huge thing. So the capital requirements, they work in, I'll just describe it simply. It's a percentage of whatever the bank gets. It can borrow out for whatever purposes, but it can use the fucking money. So sometimes those percentages of what the bank gets in deposits, it could be manipulated. And sometimes it could be manipulated to tighten down the economic conditions, and sometimes that percentage could be lowered. And normally when that percentage gets lowered, it allows the bank to borrow out more money. So it's, in a way, it is a QE. It allows banks to do more stupid things, borrow more money out, okay? So it is odd to me that all of this is happening on the same day, because they're trying to find a solution to a collapsing economy. So they're now allowing banks to borrow more money out. They're now considering crypto alternatives to get more people in this crazy overvalued real estate market that majority of the people don't want to buy because they already lost their fucking job and they got no means to pay for a mortgage. Okay? Or somebody is in the process of losing their job. Somebody knows that they're about to fucking get canned. And there's no way under most conditions that majority of the people would go and try to buy a new house or even a pre-owned house. Guys, I'm telling you, the fact that those two things, loosening up requirements for the banks, deregulations, that's actually very bullish for the market. But I'm taking it as a very bearish sign because it also comes up on a day when they're considering some new creative alternatives to prop up the real estate market. And it happens on the same day. And I'm telling you that it is the point of desperation. It is the point when you don't listen to this bullshit and this misrepresentation of data that's being reported. And by the way, you know, you can say, well, what didn't, according to you, they would have misrepresented today's housing number. Yeah, today's housing number was bad as hell. But guess what? If they would have reported the real fucking number, the market would have collapsed by this double top today. I mean, we didn't even hit the double top. We're 6 points away from it. The market struggled. All the technology stocks that went up, that were supposed to be the most big, beautiful thing in this fucking market, that went up, set a motherfucking top, and they fucking promptly collapsed by the end of the day. They finished a lot of stocks. Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft, Coin. They opened up strongly high and they finished the day in a fucking toilet. Most of them. So it certainly is a sign of a top, is what I'm trying to portray. The only stock that actually was remotely super strong today was Nvidia. But I'm not even sure if Nvidia busting out to all-time highs today is also a sign of a top, because watch it closely tomorrow. If Nvidia dips tomorrow, it is over. I'm telling you, it is finita la comedia for the fucking market. It is absolutely fucking over. So where do we go from here? And how the fuck do you trade this? Well, certainly you can participate in the bull market. BMO, a bank analyst today, have raised his target price. Hello, anybody there? He said S&P is going to 6,700. That is the same motherfucker that has lowered his target price 3 months ago when the market was dropping. So what are you, dude? What are you really saying? You're a bear when shit is falling and you're a bull when shit is going higher? But that's fucking ridiculous. I cannot believe this guy has a fucking job as an investment banker. He literally raises his target price on S&P to 6,700 when S&P is trying to break out to all-time highs and fails. Oh my God. He must be somebody's fucking nephew at that investment firm. Jesus Christ. Come on, people. Let's get fucking real here. The point is this. The situation is dire. Trump administration is trying to come up with solutions, okay, to a collapsing market, which is currently trading within points of all-time highs. And what I'm telling you today, if you shorted the market with 13 market moves today, if you're going to short the market with 13 market moves tomorrow, okay, you will absolutely beat all this bullish market bullshit that every news channel is trying to feed you. That all them, look, you got to understand, 86% of traders, and that data I'm taking from Benzinga, they did a survey recently, and so 84% of people believe Bitcoin is about to go to 130K, 150K, 200K. 84% of all traders. And there's only 14% of traders, and I'm proud to say I'm one of them, okay, is believing that 112K was the fucking top for Bitcoin under current circumstances. Not to say it's an all-time top, but I'm saying currently top, probably at least until November, December. I would say that this is the fucking top and we go lower from here. Not to say we can get close, 108, 109, 110, okay? But we're going fucking lower. So that is a very unpopular opinion. And I'm saying that, I mean, things are breaking down. Things are breaking apart. And the maneuver to try to save the economy that is in full-blown collapse, I mean, it's not going to work. So use this big, beautiful entry to your advantage. Don't be an idiot. Don't go buy fucking stocks at all-time highs, points from all-time highs. And guess what? I've recorded a couple of podcasts in the last couple of days saying like, hey, the market is done. This is the big, beautiful short. And I'm telling you today, absolutely the same. Nothing has changed, but we have clearly, okay, gotten some evidence that some of the heavy bets on some of the heavy names were failing today. And that is why the market actually did not revisit the prior high or did not actually exceed the prior high. So with that said, Bitcoin could get a rather ugly sell-off, not to mention about Ethereum or some other garbage coins that are out there. So the whole world is 86% of crypto traders are believing shit is going to go way higher. Well, and the market is trading at all-time highs, and they're trying to save the collapsing economy. And I would say exactly the opposite is going to take place, is that Bitcoin and other crypto assets, they're going to fucking drop. And some of you that bought, I mean, you're probably sitting there thinking, well, why is it not going high? Why is it not going high? Why is it not going high? Well, it's because the real economy is collapsing, and Bitcoin is about to do what it normally does in a collapsing economy, and that's go down. And it's got nothing to do with how many billions of dollars Michael Saylor is going to buy this week or next, how many more firms are going to be able to buy, to borrow millions or billions of dollars to buy. Apparently, to me, there are some heavyweight sellers in the Bitcoin market, and that is exactly why Bitcoin is unable to break above 112K. And officially today, Bitcoin also set a lower high at around 108, just a little shy of it, just depending on which exchange you're keeping the prices with. I mean, if you're on Thinkorswim, it got to like 108.3. If you're somewhere else, some other exchanges, 107.8. So, I mean, around that vicinity, let's call it 108. Well, a few days ago, like 7 days ago when we shorted, it was at 109. And it looked to everyone like it was going to blast out to the fucking moon beyond 112. Well, exactly the opposite happened and dropped to 198 on Sunday. And most of you are going to say, well, but it was because of the war. It was because, I mean, of course you got to be, I mean, what are you? Yeah, I'm telling you, the war is not over. If you paid close attention to what was happening today, basically, the NATO meeting confirmed that, Trump is not a peacemaker. I mean, if you're a peacemaker, why the fuck do you want all the members of NATO to raise their military spending? You don't raise your military spending if you're not planning to go to war. So, I mean, I'm talking to you guys 2 + 2. A day ago, you have a bullshit ceasefire announcement. The market pumps, okay, but it's still on the bullshit ceasefire tweet. The market cannot fucking go above all-time highs. What does that tell you? The market is beyond fucked, and there is no real ceasefire deal. For all I know, fucking Israel is going to bomb Iran tonight again, okay? And there's no end to this war. It's going to fucking continue, unfortunately. And the fact that during the NATO meeting, they were not talking about peace, but they were rather talking about, fucking let's pump some more weapons. Let's increase the weapons supply to Europe. Let's do all this shit. Man, that is not how somebody talks when their real plan is world peace. So they can fuck off with all this garbage talking about peace. Their intentions are exactly the opposite. That is why the war is absolutely going to escalate. And you saw what Bitcoin can do on the war. It dropped from 109 to 98. That's 11,000 point drop. And I'm telling you right now, the market absolutely does not expect an escalation of war, but that's what normally happens when market does not expect things to happen. So be ready. This is not the time to buy all-time highs, even though some of you could say, well, the bank deregulation, that is a positive thing. Yeah, it's not a fucking positive thing. That is a sign of a goddamn desperation. Okay, because they know if they don't allow the banks to borrow out more money and create, basically by deregulation, you create QE. But who the fuck needs a loan if they don't have a job? The real economy is falling apart. Sure, investment banks, they still have the money. They want to keep betting on fucking AI. But guess what? At some point, AI story collapses because real economy collapses. Understand that. And I'm not saying AI story is going to collapse tomorrow. I'm saying that based on what has transpired today, the real economy is in definite collapse. So the AI story could run for some time, but it is not very far from its collapse as well. Anyways, if you want to make millions of dollars trading options, go to 13mmtv.com or 13market.com and sign up to trade with a coach. Be on the right side of the market. Don't listen to all this garbage out there in the news. Trade the patterns. Based off the patterns, this market top right now, or within points of all-time highs, there's no qualifying volume to break out substantially higher from here. And that is the moment when you look at the technicals and you say, look, I don't give a fuck what they're saying in the news. I don't give a fuck how much they manipulate the data. I just know that I know that this is the absolute fucking moment to buy puts. Let's fucking roll.